someone special, and now that's her great fortune, too. Her menu, my table, white linens monogrammed with Mama's and her mother's initials, the Waterford candlesticks we brought home from our honeymoon in Ireland, and 2 silver champagne urns, one borrowed from the florist, filled with apricot roses. Rich's welcome to the family toast, Mama on good behavior for God's sake, and Dara and Austin's best friends along with our dearest neighbors, Fawn and Charles, Elizabeth and Eric. Long and sparkling, 2 tables abutted, and the seam didn't even show. Her intimate party now marred. The night of the first photographs for the wedding albums, Jerry, our photographer friend, came for half an hour, to be poured over decades later when I'm up floating in the clouds and they're still walking the beach, paying taxes, and figuring out the great mystery ride that is marriage. A small blip. No explosive political rants. As a state senator, Fawn can get going at times, and Eric, the town mayor, is often drawn into inflammatory discussions. Thankfully, no oversharing or boring childhood anecdotes. A wine stain is not important. Rich is probably just mourning the waste of good Brunello. Why am I careening in the sheets? Life right now seems a sweet unfolding. Dara's radiance, her eyes, the aqua blue of the inside of a glacier, the only genetic gift from Rich's overwound father. When she was small, I sometimes looked at her and wondered if she were an alien. Well, my cranky father-in-law did have those same eyes, but his were shaded by a burly monobrow, and his jaw was like the side of a meat cleaver, so you didn't really notice the sublime aquamarine. Tonight, luminous, she looked at everyone with a vibrancy and joy I'll never forget. We love Austin. Son we never got to raise? My stillborn son when Dara was 5. In thousands of moments I imagine our boy Hawthorne Willcox at 6 on a pony, at 10 on the swim team, awkward at 14 with peach fuzz. After all these years, I can barely say his name. Is Austin my projection? Is that why I attached to him from the start? The only solace for that lost oval face with faint blue-veined eyebrows and a fringe of eyelashes. I never saw his eyes, but imagined them the color in that astronaut photo of Earth taken from space. Swirling dark blue orbs. Beside me, Rich sleeps like the newly dead. I almost laugh because his mouth in an O looks as if he's about to blow a bubble. Just before he went to bed, he threw a few things in his bag for... Where is he going? Investigating an environmental disaster in Alaska, I think he said. Oil, a spill. At least better than the last trip into Somalia, where the engine stalled and a gang of bandits tried to overtake the boat he and the photographer hired. Every night, as his head touches the pillow, he conks out for dreamless hours. I don't envy him that. There's something primitive about it, though my insomnia is crazy-making and something equally primitive lurks there, too. His snoring does make me laugh. Alpha bear guarding the cave entrance.
Rich hears the bedroom door creak, then click shut. She's wandering, as usual. Lee often doesn't know what sleep is. I left her a melatonin by her toothbrush before I signed off. This day lasted a week. I think the kids would have preferred to throw steaks on the grill, but I was told this had to be an occasion. Lee damn made sure it was. Dinner was memorable. Those quail from our shoot down in Thomasville, near where Charlotte comes from. Odd to think of Lee's mother as a South Georgia girl, once upon some godforsaken time down in the Pineys. At least the old bird behaved tonight. Unlike at Big Man's wake. Lord, when she stood by the casket at the funeral home and burst out with "The night they drove old Dixie down," flabbergasted the visitors who were there to offer condolences. And not only. She'd arranged for church bells to ring all over town.